'Tis the season to keep the playoff hopes alive. All right, and welcome back to Phins Football Podcast. This is B Trill, and go ahead and give me some thumbs up. And this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe because I want to make sure you are getting the latest, and I mean the latest updates, predictions, recaps, breaking news, injury updates. I got it all for you. So I got some new stuff. If you can't tell, this is a new mic. This is glowing. Of course, you can't see because I have my bright lights on, but it changes colors and does different things. So this is my new mic I will be using. When I made that conversion over to my new laptop, it just didn't follow. But I'll dive in a little bit of that later if you want to know. But this is about Week 15 predictions. So we're going to talk about our preview for Week 15 as well as what we think might happen. The main thing we're going to go over is the injury update. So I'm going to go over a lot of the injury updates as well as some rankings, see where we're at, and let's see where the standings are. So I know we're talking about playoffs. We're getting late in the season as well as we're getting close to the holidays. So I want to make sure that we have everything in line and what to watch for on this Sunday. So we have the Miami Dolphins, who are right now 6-7, going against the Houston Texans, who are 8-5. So right now we are the underdogs. Houston, they are minus 2.5 points. So they are within a field goal and being at home. That's not really a big spread at all. Houston has been up and down this year, so we'll see what happens. The over and under is 47.5. But Houston is getting healthier. So, again, they're getting Nico Collins back, who is their star wide receiver. He's been back for a few weeks now, and they've kind of just been clicking. I know they did beat Jacksonville barely last week, and then they did lose the week before to the Tennessee Titans. So, we'll go over what everything will look like. But first, let's talk about where we stand right now as a team. So the Miami Dolphins, we are ranked 19th overall as a offense. We are 24th ranked in rushing. We are 14th ranked in passing, and we are 23rd in scoring. On defense, we are 9th overall, so we have a top 10 defense. Hats off to Anthony Weaver and company. We are 7th in rushing, so we do a great job at stopping the run. We are 11th in passing, even though we have been kind of shaky some weeks, and we're tied 14th for scoring. On the flip side, the Houston Texans, their offense, they are ranked 18th overall, so they're just one slot ahead of us. They are 16th in rushing offense, 17th in passing offense, and 11th in scoring. Their defense, 5th overall. So they are a top 5 defense, as well as, I'm just going to switch this mic. Let's go to green. We have the Texans are 10th in rushing, 7th in passing, and tied 12th for scoring. So they lean on the run, but they are also great in the air. Of course, we are going against C.J. Stroud. This is going to be a C.J. Stroud against Tua type of game. In the backfield, they do have Joe Mixon, but I mean, he's doing great. He's looking to get 1,000 yards this year. He does have over 800 yards rushing, so we'll see what they can do. Nico Collins is just a big body receiver who can go up and get the ball. So hopefully Ramsey can kind of lock him down. But I do want to go over the injury report. So before I jump into injuries, let's talk about some breaking news that I didn't go over because it really wasn't breaking news. Lots of roster moves, but kind of one in the big name category, but didn't really see anything on the field. Odell Beckham Jr. So OBJ has mutually parted ways with the Miami Dolphins. He feels like he's being underutilized. He had snaps. He was on the field. I think he's got, I was going to look up the stat and I forgot. I think he's got 3 to 5 catches all year long. 3 to 5 catches all year long. That's just, I think he might have 4, honestly, because I know he at least has 3. Cat might be 5, 3 to 5. OBJ, you didn't do anything. We did pay you minimum because you were coming off an injury, but you took forever and took your sweet time to come back, and then Miami starts winning. You're like, oh, I'll come back. All right. See you, OBJ. With that, I mean, Malik Washington, he's going to have a lot more touches, a lot more snaps. We do have some other roster news. Skylar Thompson. He is waived, so we'll see if he does end up back on our practice squad. But for now, Skylar Thompson is waived. He was our backup quarterback since he's been drafted. He did win a game for us to get us into the playoffs and started a playoff game. So Skylar Thompson, he's a bigger body quarterback. We got in the 7th round, I want to say 2021. But since then, he's just been a backup. He's played a few games when Tua's gone down, but he hasn't really shown flashes of, oh, he might be a starter one day. I do wish him the best. I do hope we re-sign him to our practice squad, but we got Tyler Huntley back. He is back from injury, back from the IR. He is eligible to go and eligible to back up. So with that being, Snoop Huntley will be our backup. Other news, we have Grant DeBow, who is coming off an injury. So if you remember, we grabbed him from Green Bay practice squad early on in the year, and then he got injured, went to IR. He's back. So who knows? Maybe he'll step up as our 3rd wide receiver. But at least he'll be a body on the field. He's also probably going to be doing maybe some kickoff returns, but I know Malik Washington kind of has that locked, especially with what he did last week. He kind of helped us get that win. But Grant DeBow, he can return kicks because D. Eskridge is, I believe, heading to IR, or at least out. He is not looking good. He's got that back injury, so he won't be playing. We did elevate some people. So we got Matt Dickerson. We elevated him off the practice squad, I believe, today. He is a defensive tackle. The other day, we elevated Ryan Haynes, who is a right tackle. Well, he's a tackle. He is a body. He did come from Michigan. We drafted him in the 7th round, I want to say 2 years ago. But we got some bodies because we have some injuries. Unfortunately, Armstead is doubtful to play. So he has been, he only played, 5 snaps last game. And then we had Patrick Paul come in. Patrick Paul did phenomenal. So he can continue to carry the load. But we always know we're a better team with Teron Armstead out there, except for when he's injured. So he's dealing with a knee injury. I believe still that back injury. He's banged up. He's elder. I would not be surprised if he hangs it up at the end of the season. With that, also, Kendall Lamb. He is nursing an injury. I believe it was his knee, I want to say. But we'll see what goes on there. He is doubtful to play as well. So with that, we're going to have Patrick Paul, possibly. And then on the other side, we're going to have Jackson Carman is going to be set to start if Lamb is not ready to go. So we would have Patrick Paul on one side, Jackson Carman on the other side, of course, Brewer in the middle, Eichenberg, and Robert Jones. I want to know what's going on with Isaiah Wynn. Isaiah Wynn, I don't think he's been activated off the Has he been practicing? I need to check on Isaiah Wynn. I want to know some updates. As well as Chubb and Cameron Good. Cameron Goode. Good. Both of those are not activated. So they're day 11, day 12, something like that with the 21-day window. They're not going to be activated. So hopefully next week, maybe next week, we will see. But again, lots of moving parts, lots of roster moves. So we got a lot going on this week with our team. So I'll keep you updated with all the injuries. But I do want to let you know a couple other things. The standings. I want to go over the standings. So I saw a tweet go out. I did kind of mention it towards the tail end of my video last week. But we can get a lot of help with the playoff standings coming this Sunday. So a perfect week for the Miami Dolphins would be, of course, to beat the Texans. The Texans would then move to 8-6. They face Kansas City next week. So remember, we need to win out, and we need some teams to lose twice. So that would be huge if we beat the Texans and then they go to the Chiefs and lose next week. If we win out, we might be above the Texans next week. So that would be huge, as well as the Colts are playing the Broncos. So again, the Colts have a game ahead of us right now, but we want them to beat the Broncos. Because if the Colts beat the Broncos are 8-6. Meaning the Texans will be 8-6. The Broncos will be 8-6. The Buccaneers are playing the Chargers. If the Chargers lose, they go 8-6. The Broncos and the Chargers play next week. So with that, one team automatically has to go to 8-7. And then the Texans play the Chiefs, which they might go to 8-7. Again, if we beat the Texans, and then if we win next week, we are also 8-7. So it is big news with the Miami Dolphins and the playoffs. This is a playoff game right now. The rest of the season is a playoff game. Even against Cleveland and the Jets at the end of the year. Honestly, I'm looking at ticket prices. The Cleveland game and the New York Jets game, they're looking to be like $20 ticket games. I'm in Rochester. It's about 5-6 hours both ways, or each way. I'm smack dead in the middle between New York City and Cleveland. So who knows? Maybe I'll go to both. If it really comes down to it, if we beat the Texans, if we beat the 49ers, we're going to be looking good. We're going to be looking real good heading into possibly the final weeks of the season when it all comes down to it, when it really matters. With this game, with the Texans, I think we need to keep doing what we've been doing. I think we need to keep feeding the formula. Jonnu Smith is an animal. He's going to be the MVP of our team. I think that keep getting him the ball. Keep getting him over 100 yards because he is a mismatch nightmare. He handles the middle of the field. Then you got Waddle going deep. You got Tyreek going deep. Then you got Achane underneath. You got Jalen Wright pounding the rock up the middle. Alec Ingold's blocking. I just see Miami. You have to put it all together. We cannot shoot ourselves in the foot this game. No costly turnovers, no muff punts, no bad interceptions, no bad snaps, no horrible fumbles. We need to play smart football for 60 minutes, mistake-free, 3 stages of the game. We need to have special teams making field goals and getting good kick and punt returns and having good coverage on good punt and kick or on punt and kick returns where we don't give up the yardage. Play the field position if we have to. We both have good defenses and we both have offenses up and down to where we're looking a lot better with Tua back. CJ Stroud, when he had some injuries, he wasn't looking as good. But I think we have a lot for what it takes to beat the Texans. I just think that our defensive line has been putting the pressure that we need because you see it back there. Our secondary, you give the quarterback time, we're going to get cooked. Ramsey was getting burnt by Garrett Wilson last game. It was just one after another. He was just wide open, and nobody was covering him. We need to have Ramsey on Nico Collins. We need to have a body on Tank Dell. We need to cover all aspects. And don't forget, they got tight ends. Is Dalton Schultz? I think he's back from injury. I can't remember. But they got bodies. I think we just need to play smart football, honestly. I think if Mike McDaniel comes up with maybe one or two trick plays to get the momentum going, if we have a good kick return, punt return, something has to spark it for us to win. I actually have been to the Houston Texans stadium. I got to see a Houston Texans playoff game. I was working there, 6-7 years ago, and Texans got blown out by the Chiefs. That was before the Patrick Mahomes era, before the Deshaun Watson era even. But it's a big stadium. They can make lots of noise, but as I saw, they can get quiet quick. So I think if Miami plays big, plays fast, gets up big, I say Miami's got a real good chance to win this game. I saw the predictions right now is close. I see it 60-40, 45-55. Of course, again, Houston is favored because they are home. They do have the better record. So with that saying, I say let's go underdogs. Let's get this win, and let's see if we can back our way and squeeze our way into the playoffs with lots of help. This is not the week to lose. To be honest, if we lose, expect a lot to happen. Expect the wheels to come off. I don't know if there's going to be firings with Greer or McDaniel. They already said McDaniel's safe. They didn't say Greer was safe. So who knows? I mean, especially with us constantly getting injured players. But I say if we lose on Sunday, I don't want to put it out there. If we lose on Sunday, Teron Armstead might retire. Calais Campbell might retire. Before that, they might request a trade. I see us looking to make some moves and clear some cap. And, I mean, I see Tyreek Hill going to get his surgery on his wrist. I see I don't want to see any of that. I want to see Miami continue to make these games matter. It means something. Again, I like sitting there on Sunday and watching my team put up a good fight, whether it's win or lose. Of course, we always root for a win. But I don't want to see a sloppy game. I don't want to see give up. I don't want to see us be, let's go for the draft picks because we're not going to. I want to make it matter. I want to get the win. But again, I always like to be positive, but I just want to warn everybody if. But again, I always want to thank everybody. Continue to watch, continue to like, continue to subscribe, and go ahead and comment for me. What are your plans for the holidays? What is your favorite holiday memory? And what do you think the future is for the Miami Dolphins? I know it's a lot, but continue to give me a like. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And tune in next time. I'll do some injury updates as soon as we get that tomorrow. And as always, thank you, and fins up family, and have a safe holiday.